One thing that I've been working on this 12-week year is improving my mental health. So having a good mental health is really important. It can affect how we feel, it can affect the decisions we make, and it can affect how we think. And not only is having poor mental health quite crushing, it can also lead to physical consequences like stroke, heart disease, diabetes, etc. So after all, the most important part of your game is your game piece. And if you cannot have good mental health, it's next to impossible to have good physical health and be productive. So that's why depression is so fatal. It prevents people from doing things, even if they want to. So if you're lost and if you have the intention to get your life back on track, improving your mental health is a good place to start. In this video, I'll share with you 3 different tactics that I've been using to help improve my mental health. And before we get into this video, YouTube statistics tells me that only less than half of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed, so don't forget to subscribe down below. Anyways, let's get into this video. The first tactic I want to talk about is journaling. No, journaling does not have to be that little diary with the lock and a key where every entry is begun with "Dear Diary." This is the practice that I've been doing for the longest, so I can definitely attest to its results. Journaling for me is just sitting down with my notebook and pen and simply writing down whatever comes to mind. When I first begun this practice, I thought, I won't have anything to journal about. But once I started writing, I realized I actually had a lot to talk about. Humans are naturally afraid of judgment and punishment. And so while I recognize that talking with people is the best way I can make myself feel better, for some people they just aren't comfortable enough to talk with anybody, or they just don't have anybody to talk with. So for those people, beginning with journaling is a good way to start letting your feelings out. So for many people, and for me as well, your journal is your safe spot. And if you just don't feel comfortable enough to talk with anybody, journaling is a good place to begin. To begin a journaling habit, the first thing you need to do is pick out a notebook and a pen. And after that, you have to pick out a time on your schedule where you can always sit down and write. You have to make sure that while it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be journaling for an hour. What it does have to be is consistent. And it's essential that you make it into a habit instead of relying on willpower, because journaling isn't something that you'll necessarily want to do every day. So make sure when that time of day rolls around, you always sit down and journal. It doesn't even matter what you write, even if your first few sentences are about how you don't want to be sitting here journaling. Even after those words, you'll start to get into the flow and it'll start to feel more natural. And also, remember that your journal is yours and you can do whatever you want with it. You can hide it away, keep it secret if you like, but you can also share it with some trusted people if you want. Another thing about journaling that I'd heavily recommend is writing by hand. While typing may be faster, I've always felt that writing by hand allows me to communicate with my inner self better. And I know that sounds like some spiritual nonsense, but what I mean is that writing by hand allows me to express myself clearer and in the long term to understand myself better. The next practice that I've just begun dipping my feet into is mindfulness or meditation. So to be honest, I've been doing meditation on and off over the years, and only now have I freshly committed to it. So basically, mindfulness is the practice of being mindful. And I know that sounds like a bunch of crap when I say it that way, and let me continue. So all in all, being mindful is basically being fully engaged in whatever you're doing, noticing every detail, and that kind of stuff. So overall, mindfulness or meditation can help you avoid getting swept up in worries about the past or the future. And overall, meditation can reduce your stress, reduce your anxiety, and increase your self-awareness. Just to be clear, meditation does not have to be sitting in a lotus pose, which I cannot do, so don't expect B-roll for this clip, at the top of a mountain at 4 a.m. watching the sunrise, and I don't even know if the sun rises at 4 a.m. anyway. Mindfulness can be as simple as noticing some sensations, noticing your breathing. Mindfulness can also be sitting down to meditate, but it can also be as simple as practicing a breathing pattern. When you sit down to meditate, especially as a beginner, it can be really easy to get distracted. And my advice from a fellow beginner to you is don't beat yourself over it and just gently guide your attention back to your breath or whatever you're trying to focus on. And so I'm not a meditation expert, so I've been using the app Tide lately to help me practice mindfulness. Along with meditations, Tide also offers a timer feature, a sleep feature, and a breath feature. So I'll definitely link the app in the description below. The last practice that I've picked out is talking with your friends. So one thing that I've found that I've been increasingly needing is someone to actually listen. And maybe it's just because of my age, but I find it extremely hard to find someone who will actually listen. And so I consider myself extremely lucky to have someone who will listen to my issues without any judgment. But I found that most people don't have someone like that. Over time, having meaningful conversations with my friend has allowed me to discover more things about myself and uncover who I am as a person. And so what I found out and what I'm seeing is that increasingly, the teenagers of my generation need someone to listen to them. And so in order to help out my viewers, I've linked a Google form in the description below in which you can share your story anonymously. And this is inspired by a writer on Wattpad. And so check out the description if you do want to do so. I'm sure that most people will talk with their friends quite often, but what separates what I mean by talking with your friends with casual chatting is the meaningfulness and the depth of the conversation. The best conversations will come naturally, and all in all, the best way you can have meaningful conversations is just by talking often. Especially now with COVID and quarantine and all that mess, it becomes quite easy to fall out of touch with your friends. Don't. Make an effort to keep up with your friends. Talk often, and all in all, let them know that you still care, because I found that simple words can make a world of difference. Maintaining good mental health is more important than ever, because while we're stuck with the same people in our homes, they might not necessarily notice when you need help. And along with maintaining your own mental health, the third tactic, talking with your friends, can also help others' mental health as well. Any other suggestions? Leave them in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, or if you just want to support my channel, you can leave a like and subscribe down below. If you think that someone else will find this video helpful, and then definitely share it with them. All of these help tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy my videos, and it will push it out to more people, which will allow me to have a bigger impact on this platform. So if you want to watch more videos from my channel, you can click out one of the videos on the screen right now, and just maybe you could turn off your phone, you could turn off your tablet, you could turn off your iPad, you could turn off your computer or whatever you're watching me on, and go do some work. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay productive. Bye.